Hey everybody, John with you again with the walk around and demo of a 1968 Honda CL175 K0. The K0, that's a Japanese word, Kaizen. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it 100% correctly, but it means improvement basically. So improvement zero. In other words, this is the first incarnation of this bike. You'll notice it, if you're familiar with old Hondas, it's a lot of similarities with a CL160, but it is a different engine. It's a 5-speed transmission, whereas a 160 would have had a 4-speed. The whole upper half of the engine, especially the cylinder head, is a good bit different than the 160. Just appearance-wise, I mean, mechanically they're basically the same engine, but as I said, it's got a little advantage with the 5-speed transmission. So this was a pretty rough bike when I got it, but as you can see, I've brought it back to showroom new condition, as I try to do with all these bikes. Many parts have been re-chromed. Most of the parts are new old stock parts. There's a few reproductions, like for example the rims are reproduction. The tires are German Wiedenau, which are not exactly what you would have found, but they're a good representation of the tires that would have been on the bike originally. We've got a 19 by 275 up front, and in the back there's an 18 by 3. It's got the original, the candy orange. It was one of the 3 different colors you could get in 1968 for this bike. The engine's been completely rebuilt with new pistons and rings. And bored out to a slightly oversized. I believe it was 0.5, the second oversized, so half a millimeter bigger than original. It's been, the frame is just it's a gloss black, and then we have the candy orange on just the tank and the side covers. Let's see what else. A lot of parts have been re-chromed. This heat shield was $300 alone to get re-chromed. Everything else, again, I'm trying to make it all original. One little, for convenience, we've got a little pigtail here for connecting the battery tender to keep the battery charged if you're not using it. The seat's been recovered with a nice reproduction seat cover that matches the original very nicely. We've got the Honda logo on the back. The chrome. The fenders, this rear fender was not re-chromed. There's one little blemish in it here, but it's really pretty nice for its age. Like for example, these shock covers were re-chromed. Got the correct little sticker down here on the swing arm. The ends of the toolboxes were re-chromed. The shift or the kickstart lever was re-chromed, and the brake lever re-chromed. The bike is kick only. You'll see there's a bash guard or skid plate underneath it. And where the kickstart or the electric start would have been, there's a little plug that goes in there to block that off. We got the correct, original plastic badges, the correct air cleaners, the correct carburetors. I mean, the bike was missing a lot of those parts, but I was able to find a gentleman out in California who had replacements for all that. The speedometer is the correct speedometer, showing the 5 speeds. So there's no tachometer on this model, but it gives you a little hint, like, there's your shift points. You should be going almost 25 miles an hour before you shift out of first. So you wind these, these little high revving little twins. They run like sewing machines, and you can rev them fairly high. But you can see the speedometer has the correct 5 speeds, whereas a 160 speedometer, you'd only see 4 of those little arcs to indicate where to shift. The correct handlebars, the correct turn signals, fork boot, or the boots on the forks. And then the correct little horn down in here, and your ignition switch and petcock. So a beautiful bike. She runs great. We'll go ahead and fire it up here. So we'll turn on the gas. She's cold right now. And we'll turn on the ignition. I don't know if you can see, but we got a little neutral indicator light. Doesn't really need a lot of choke here at sea level, so we're just gonna fire her up. the shade in a minute. Sorry, I got my finger in there, and we'll show all the electrics working. She's a beautiful bike. She's gonna be up. She's up for sale.